What's going on, guys? So I am out here in Indiana at the 2025 Forest River Sneak Peek event. This is basically an event that Forest River puts on every year to introduce the 2025 model year lineup to their dealership network. So they bring their dealerships in, and their dealerships have the ability to see what they will have on their lot for 2025. Now in front of me, you are looking at a type of RV that I don't feature too often, but I definitely wanted to showcase today. So we're going to go over this thing, see what it's all about. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so in front of you, you were looking at a Flagstaff pop-up trailer. Now, what is unique about pop-up trailers? Well, there's a lot of things. First of all, they're pretty dang light, so they can be towed by a lot of different vehicles. Before we go further, let's look at the numbers on this specific one. So this is going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of only 3,805 pounds. It's going to have a cargo capacity of 1,299 pounds, and it's going to have a dry weight of 2,478 pounds, making this towable by a lot of vehicles, including many mid-size SUVs and trucks. You definitely want to be sure that you do have the towing capacity on your specific vehicle before you just assume that you can tow it, though. A lot of SUVs that you think have 5,000 or 6,000 pound tow capacities only have that in very specific configurations, so be very, very sure of that. One of the nice things about these is the ability for the roof and the whole structure to collapse down to a very low profile unit, which makes these very simple, very easy, and very confidence inspiring to tow with a lot of vehicles. But of course, you always want to be sure that if you're experiencing any excessive weight anywhere, you have a properly set up weight distribution hitch with sway control just to mitigate the risk that you have any problems when you're towing it. This specific unit has this huge storage area up front, so always factor in the amount of cargo that you're loading in and make sure that you're not overloading your trailer. But what I like about this is when the whole thing's collapsed in, again, you have this big area up front. You could bring mountain bikes, you could bring other things with you that you'll be able to see in your rear view mirror, just as an extra prevention against theft if you're at a red light or if you're at a gas station. And what's also really nice is the fact that you can chain it to this nice safety rail that goes all the way around. Now this specific Flagstaff is the 228 MT, and again, this is a pop-up, so it's going to have a soft top with a hard sidewall down here, and it's also going to have traditional leaf sprung suspension, which is different than other Flagstaff units you might see, because most Flagstaff units are actually going to have torsion suspension. So this is going to have a traditional leaf sprung suspension, which is really fine for this application. All right, stepping inside, you can see just how much room you have in here when it's all popped up with the front and back deployed. So you have pretty much a king size bed up here. You're gonna have a queen size bed back here. This is gonna turn into a bed. This is gonna turn into a bed. You have your sink. You also have a small refrigerator, and you have a cool shower system. So basically you hang a curtain around this track up here, and it gives you privacy whenever you're using the shower. And this piece props up and kind of blocks most of the window. But during travel mode, you would have this down, or if you just wanted to use this for an extra surface for maybe eating on, something like that, you'd be able to do that. So that is really cool. Down there you have some of your stereo controls and some of your switches. You have some extra drawers here as well. And these are going to fold down. That's going to be a tray for various purposes, whatever you want to use that for, storage or whatnot. Then you have your furnace right there. All right. But this is really cool. I mean, honestly, a lot of people get started in RVing with tent campers, and pop-up campers like this can be really, really great, especially if you're going out to areas where you might be restricted on the size of RV, or even how you could get an RV to that location. Maybe it's softer sand and you want to tow something with a capable off-road vehicle with a lift on it, and you're more afraid to take something heavy out there because you feel like it could damage the RV or you might get stuck. I like this why tent camping. They give you a whole little right up here on why you might want to go tent camping. That's cool. Heated mattress on plywood bunk ends. See, 15,000 BTU AC and 20,000 BTU furnace. Now, you might think that this particular unit doesn't have an air conditioning system because it has the fan right there, but this actually does, and they've been creative with it. So if we spin around and we look under this bench, That's actually your air conditioning unit, and you have ducting coming off of it as well, so you can point it in different directions. So this has a 15,000 BTU air conditioning unit on board, which definitely can make this a better experience if you're going to be in a hot area and you simply want to have the dehumidification benefits and cool down the interior. Now, you're not going to get a heck of a lot of R value out of a cloth material sidewall, but kind of the point of this is just overwhelming the space with cool air, so you don't really have to worry about the R value of the sidewall itself, which isn't going to be much. Huge windows. Again, this is all soft windows, but just check it out. If you open these windows up, you get tons of cross ventilation, which is also really nice. And then you can open up the windows right here as well. And you have a mesh material to keep bugs and insects from coming in. So if you have, a spot on the beach that you like to go, if you just like to go out to the beach and you want to have a place that you can cook a meal, you want to come in and take a shower if you want to, this is really, really great for that. It gives you a lot of capability and flexibility to do that as well. Then over here, this is kind of cool. So check this out. So if we pull this up and out, that drops down like that, and this is how you actually collapse everything in. So you have this full sink area that pulls out of the way, so whenever all of this flips over and in, it's completely out of the way. Then when you get to where you're going, you simply lift that up and put that in place. That's pretty dang cool, isn't it? From a cooking perspective, you would typically use like an electric griddle or maybe a George Foreman grill, something like that, Instapot, whatever you feel like cooking meals on, and you could do it up here or you could do it on the outside. But that said, let's hop outside, take a quick look at the outside of this unit. Okay, so we already went over the front area. You have a spot up front for two 20-pound propane cans. You have your steel flip-up steps right here. In here, I believe this is going to be like a wash station. That's the outside of your air conditioning unit. You have stabilization scissor jacks all the way around, LED lighting as well. Coming around this way, you're going to have a 30 amp connection. This is really, really cool. I like the black aluminum wheels. They make the whole thing kind of stand out and pop as well. What do you guys think? And there are upgrades you can do to something like this as well. You can put, if you want a knobbier looking tire just for the cosmetic aspect, you can absolutely do that. You could put a power front tongue jack on it. You could even put a jack that swivels out of the way if you wanted to. And these things look super cool whenever you're towing them with an aggressive vehicle. And they have other flavors also. So if we spin around this way, you can see this super, super compact Rockwood pop-up camper. This thing is probably half the length. And this specific one is called the 1640 FT. I'll just peer inside so you can see what's going on in here. You have your sink. I don't know if this one's going to have a shower in it or not. I don't know if this one uses an interior or possibly an exterior shower, but you have a queen size bed up front with like a full size bed in the back. This one's really cool, and there's your AC unit in this one. Also a very cool pop-up camper. But let me know what you guys think. I know I don't feature a lot of tent campers on my channel, but I definitely thought that these were two kind of standout models that looked really nice. You get two different flavors, one much larger than the other. But leave a comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts on these pop-up campers, and if this is something you've had, maybe you started off in. If you did, then please leave a comment below about that. I'd love to know what your experience was with your pop-up camper. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.